guys, so I wanted to show you the chords for Gallows Pole because it's really not that hard to play, and I know a lot of you guys out there are guitar players, and it's a really fun song to play. When I did my own little version of it, I took the beat and instead of playing it straight, I swung it. But I'm going to show you the way Jimmy plays it. At least this is the way I think he plays it. And when I played it, I actually tuned my guitar down a whole step. So the E string was D, everything was down a whole step. But I've tuned it back up to standard tuning so that I can show you and you can play along in standard tuning. So it's kind of strange when you listen to it, but then when you actually figure out what Jimmy's playing, well, the way I figured this out, actually, I was on Spotify listening to a whole bunch of different versions of Gallows Pole, and the Zeppelin version was derived from Leadbelly, who was an old folk singer. I guess some people would call him a blues guy, but this is really more of a folk song, and they spell it Gallows Pole, Gallis, the Gallows Pole, and Leadbelly does a version that's very different musically, but it's incredible, and that's where Zeppelin, I think, got the idea to do their version. And Jimmy Page, so I was listening to all these different versions on Spotify, and I ran across an early mix of the Zeppelin song, and it's only acoustic guitar, vocal, bass, and drums. So you could really hear that acoustic guitar, so I could tell exactly what he was playing, which is not as easy on the final version that I grew up listening to. So anyway, this is how it goes. You start with an A7, which is just one finger on the second fret of the second string, or the B string, and another finger on the second fret of the D string. That's what it sounds like. And then you take your fingers off and put them right back on where they were. Then you go to an A minor 7, which is just one note different. Keep this middle finger the same, but take off your ring finger and put your first finger on the first fret of the B string. And then you just slide that up 2 frets. And if you want to get really fancy, you can put your pinky on the 5th fret of the high E string. Pretty slow, not quite that slow, but it's like a... Hangman, hangman, wait a little while. Think I see my... I'm doing it my way now. I think I see my friends coming riding many a mile. So right there it goes G, D, and then back to the A7. You just have now learned all of the chords that are involved in this song. A, G, and D, and then the A minor 7 sliding up, right? So this is most of the song, and then the hangman part, I do a little bit differently from Jimmy, but it's basically A, when I play an A, I usually don't use my pinky finger. I leave this B string open, the second string. That's just my own thing though. That's not really probably what he's doing. And stay on the G. And so I started, in my version, I started... So that's playing the G note, which is the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then the A chord, which I'm just doing with my first finger. So that's basically it. You can kind of mess around with it as you like. I totally messed with the rhythm of the song and the words, because I took a little bit from a lot of the different versions that I was listening to, especially the Lead Belly, and tried to make it as urgent as possible, because the song's really, a man trying to save his own life and begging for anyone and everyone to help him. So it's really a song of life and death urgency. So I didn't really want to start it real like that. I was just like, hangman, hangman, a little white. So that's just kind of how I adapted the song. But have at it, have fun with it, and I will talk to you soon.